Oh, snap. What is going on?
I love that music.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you. We got in his house. That's right. Darth Daddy Lunga. How you doing, my brother?
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me. Appreciate it. Much appreciated.
Yeah, thanks for joining us today on the channel, on the episode. Is it really that bad? That's right. Today, let me get the banners up so chat knows what we're talking about today. Is it really that bad? John Carter, 2012. And the Movie Dojo Army is rolling up right now. Let's see who is in the house here. Let's see who we have. Daikatana in the house. Hello, Jen is he's ready for this. He is ready for this. Michael Gonzalez. Oh, shit. Director, filmmaker, man of all talents, director Ranjit in the house. That's right. John Martinez. Let's start the fucking ruckus. That's right. All the legends are here. Let's get it going. Let's get it cracking. Dog Soldier in the house. Kevin Lambert in the house. Asian movie enthusiast. There you go. All right. He said, I just watched John Carter last year. I did it because some people said it was underappreciated. All right. Jason says, underrated flick for sure. All right. Let's see it. Let's see who else we got here. Who's only seen it once? Everybody is here. Bob Odinson is in the house. All right. We are here. We got enough people. We can go ahead and get it cracking. We got like 22 badasses in the chat right now. How are you doing, my friend? And how's your channel doing?
It's going good. Just doing my thing like we do every day there in a great council. We do the midday mashup Tuesday through Friday, gaming streams on Sundays, and Tuesday nights now we've been doing for about a month now our D&D stream, Council 6 on Tuesday nights over there. We're having a lot of fun with that.
Nice. Chat, I highly recommend you guys head over to the Great Council. Make sure you subscribe, support Darth Daddy Lunga. He's got really, really great content over there. Pop culture, Star Wars. I'm really jealous of his Mandalorian collection that he has behind him.
I made that mask, right?
I'm jealous. I'm really jealous. I heard you say that. Look at this. He made this, chat.
3D, yeah.
This is insane.
3D printed, custom painted. I made it with my channel colors.
That is insane.
And I have back there right now, I have the chest plate, the abs, shoulder pieces.
It is insane.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing, my friend.
Thank you, sir.
That's like some big bad toy store shit. Like, hey, give us $200.
Yeah.
Right?
It's like the other ones like this, like if you got an artisan, kind of handmade item, those usually go for about $250, $300. The real, like authentic, replica ones is like you're talking about $500-$600 for like that kind of thing.
Right.
But these handmade art, it takes a lot. It's a lot of work. Yes. I got like elbow problems from all the sanding.
I thought it was from all that Muay Thai you've been practicing. No.
No Muay Thai. I haven't learned any of that stuff. But, I just close my eyes and swing and hope I hit something.
You don't know karate, but you know karate. That's right. Chad is loving that helmet, man. They're loving it right now. Do you collect? I know we're going to get into John Carter in a second here, but do you collect the lightsabers?
No, only because I haven't wanted to spend that kind of money on them. But I made my own.
Oh, of course you did.
It's a steampunk. The little button fell off, but it's a steampunk inspired lightsaber. It's like lamp parts. And yeah, and I did have with a battery in here, and I had it to where a blade actually went in here. But the issue was the blade, the lights, the LEDs didn't. It's not like the good LEDs, like the stuff they use to make it so you could see the dots.
Right.
And I was trying to mess with it, and I broke the thing, so I can't put the blade back in there anymore. But yeah, I made my own for that too.
Dude, that is sick. Steampunk lightsaber.
Yeah.
Because we love us some Star Wars and we love us some steampunk. So we got to put them together. That is pretty awesome, though. But if you were going to spend the money on one lightsaber, who would it be? Whose lightsaber?
You mean which Jedi or Sith's lightsaber?
Yeah.
Oh, my man, Darth Revan.
That's the one. I was at a comic book store in San Diego, and I was walking around, and they actually had several boxes of the Revan lightsaber, and I was just like, oh, Oh, I want it. Oh,
Yeah, I saw the Hasbro the Force Effects. Is that what they're called? The
yeah.
Hasbro Force. They just came out with one. I'm like, oh
Man.
my god, this looks so cool. And purple's my color. I love purple. I mean, the lights are purple. My Great Council colors are purple.
It
I love
looks
the
so
purple.
sick. It looks so sick, and I saw the price. I was like, all right, let me keep walking around because it was so expensive. But I want that. Well, I'll have to settle with the Darth Revan action figure. I might be just
Yeah. I got that one up there too. I got the.
Is that rare now?
I don't know if it's rare. Like I said, I don't collect things for money.
Yours looks different than mine.
Well, these are the new ones. I think it was the Galaxy Heroes.
Okay.
I think they had another one before this one.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, I got this one when it.
That's pretty sick looking,
up.
Man.
I like that they did really good on it too. So, this is the guy I've been waiting to see. I made there's a mask up there next to Grogu too, a Darth Revan mask that I made.
You made that too? Can we see that real quick?
Yeah.
We're getting the tour.
This is just a like a display piece. It's not a wearable one because I don't have the eyes open or anything.
But, oh, that's so sick.
Yeah, I plan on making. I have a print for the whole.
Okay.
The whole thing.
Nice.
And I was playing with it to where I cut it to where I could put magnets in there, and it has a clip to where I can put it on and it'll snap it out.
Yes. Halloween, son. That's pretty sick, man. That is awesome. That's awesome. We've got Halogen says, thanks for the don't know, Halogen. He says, never seen this movie. I'm curious if I will be convinced to watch it. Also, tune into any stream with Lunga, and you'll see him sanding all day.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, when I get bored on a stream, and if it's like a panel, a bunch of people talking, like I'm on Andy's channel, a bunch of people talking, and I'm like just sitting there sanding stuff while they're talking.
Oh, look at this guy! Look at this guy popping up.
Speaking of which,
shit, Andy, what's going on, brother? He goes, "What's up,
fellas?
Andy? Good to see you two talking movies." And John Carter is way better than folks give it credit. Oh, we should have invited Andy too.
Yeah,
next time. But yeah. That is awesome, man, that you can create all your stuff. That's pretty cool. Does it take a long time?
Depends on the print. I mean, most of your bigger stuff like helmets and stuff like that, you're talking about, it's a 24-hour print job. It goes for 24 hours printing.
Okay.
And if it messes up halfway through, it's like you got to start all over again. It's a pain.
Shit.
Yeah, but it's about 24 hours print job for that. And but what takes more time is all the processing and post processing, because it when you 3D print something, it has the lines. Now, normally from a distance, you really don't notice them. But if you want something to be a good prop piece or a good cosplay piece, you don't want those print lines. So you literally have to like sand it a little bit, and then I put resin over it to smooth it, sand the resin, then I put Bondo, sand to Bondo, then I put primer, sand to primer, then I put more Bondo if there's pieces that need more, and that takes about 2 or 3 days per piece. Right. And then all the painting afterwards, the airbrushing afterwards.
Wow. Well, look at the results though. It's all worth it, right?
Yeah. I'm gonna have a full set soon.
Do you take requests?
I told people a while ago on Twitter that I'll do if people want a commission. I'll if they want to commission something.
Might be hitting you up with something later.
Yeah. I can make something, and my airbrushing skills are decent. But I can't do that crazy like artwork that people do with airbrushing. I can just paint. I can just paint, do 2 tones, 3 tones, maybe some gradients, but I can't do some of that crazy airbrushing people do, especially on cars and stuff like that. It's ridiculous some of the stuff these people can do.
That Mando helmet in the back looks pretty badass to me. Yeah. So it looks like you're on your way there. All right. So again, chat, thanks for hanging out with us tonight on Is It Really That Bad episode? Tonight's episode with John Carter. And as is tradition, we will be going into spoilers. So spoiler warning. Every time we do these, it is spoiler heavy. So just letting you guys know. We got another one here. Orlando just watched John Carter and was pretty dang good. Look at that. All right, Lunga. John Carter or John Wick? Who'd win?
On Mars or on Earth? That's the question.
That's a good answer. That's it. You don't have to say anything else. Perfect. All right, let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, so John Carter came out in 2012, directed by Andrew Stanton, who is mostly known for directing a lot of Pixar movies, a lot of the classics. All-star cast in this. We got Taylor Kitsch, Lynn Collins from X-Men Origins Wolverine. We got Samantha. I know, right? Samantha Morton, William Dafoe, Thomas Hayden Church did a lot of voice work. We got the awesome villain Mark Strong. That's right. We have Ciaran Hinds, Dominique West, another really good actor. James Purfoy, another good actor. Bryan Cranston, who's that guy?
Yeah, who's that guy?
And many, 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 many more. So all-star cast, and it's great seeing these people pop up in this project. Now, before we get into the movie, actually, let me read the plot really quick. So, for those who have not seen this is the basic plot. So, transported to Barsoom, a Civil War vet discovers a barren planet seemingly inhabited by 12-foot-tall barbarians. Finding himself prisoner of these creatures, he escapes, only to encounter Woola, and a princess in a desperate need of a savior. And that is one of the worst plot synopses that IMDb ever wrote. What the fuck?
You do want to let people, because you actually, if anyone's watched Lovecraft Country, the HBO Max series that they did, it is really good. I really enjoyed it. But at the beginning, the character's reading John Carter, but it wasn't called John Carter. It was called A Princess of Mars.
Yeah.
And it was Edgar Rice Burroughs who wrote the book, and it was back in 1912 when he wrote it. So I mean, it's an old, pulp fiction-y horror kind of. I don't know if you can classify it as horror, because it almost feels like on a Lovecraft vein, but a little bit different. But yeah,
Princess of Mars. This is the book right here. It's what kicked it off. And it was kind of interesting because when he came across, he wasn't doing that well financially. And he kind of was just like, you know what? He saw these other pulp and sci-fi comics and stories, and he was like, these guys are terrible, but they're getting paid for it. I could do a lot better than these guys. So let me go and, give my little crack at the hand here. And I love the cover and the artwork and a lot of the books. This is from
That's definitely a 60s cover.
Yeah,
definitely that was a 60s reprint.
right. Frank Frazetta is one of my favorite artists, and he did the work for that as well. So here's some other work we have here. There you go. Some more Frank Frazetta work for some more Edgar Rice Burroughs books based off of John Carter. That's right. There is a long legacy here. And then later, obviously, Marvel's going to jump in here.
Yep.
Right. So it also became a very popular comic book under Marvel Comics as well, with all these classic characters. So there is a history, there is a love for this character and this world. And I heard an interview with director Stanton, and he said that when I think he was around 10 years old, and he went over to his buddy's house, and his buddy was drawing characters from the comic, and he was drawing the green aliens with the 4 arms. What are they? The Tharks?
Tharks.
Tharks, right? And he was drawing it, and he was like, what is that? And he was like, oh, I'm drawing, this is the Thark, and he's fighting this human over here. His name's John Carter, and that was it. That was the interest was peaked. And, back in the old days, with the serial pulp fiction days, Flash Gordon was also popular around this time. And it's these adventure novels. Now, do you know, I'm pretty sure with your Star Wars knowledge, that this, in a way, did influence George Lucas to do Star Wars.
There was a lot of stuff that influenced Lucas.
Yeah.
I mean, Dune, which is coming out in 2021, Dune influenced George Lucas.
Right.
So did the spaghetti westerns and the samurai.
Right.
The samurai movies, shows and stuff like that too. So he took a lot of influence from a lot of things. But yeah, that would make sense, especially with the battles and the way they would do
the
things.
The whole fantasy, but a fantasy story where you're saving the princess and all that, but on a sci-fi setting, right? In the sci-fi setting, definitely. And a lot of people said that George Lucas always wanted to make his own version of a story like this, but he couldn't do it, and he couldn't make his version of Flash Gordon. So he's like, fuck it, I'm going to do my own shit. And then now we have the beloved Star Wars. That's right. Some franchise that's nobody knows about, right? Have you heard of Star Wars?
No, I haven't. I don't know what you're talking about. Never heard of it. Is that what the guys with the pointy ears live long and prosper or something?
Yeah,
I'm not
something
sure.
like that. Yeah, there's some Jawas running around. I think it's popular because of the Jawas, right?
Yeah, there you go. The Jawas made it all. That's Jawas bring all the boys to the yard,
right?
That's
I was watching a post-apocalyptic movie called Land of Doom. And we were reviewing it on another channel, Mr. Tony of the Dead channel. We thought we do Wasteland Wednesdays over there, and literally in this post-apocalyptic movie, the character comes across literally Jawas. I'm not kidding. They looked just like Jawas, acted just like Jawas, and I was like, man, how did they not get sued?
Seriously.
And this was like 1985 or something like that. Like it was. I was like, how did this not happen? But we were laughing hysterically. But yeah, Jawas. All right.
So, hey, Jawa's got a new life in the Mandalorian series, man.
Right.
They
Right.
yeah.
So, Burroughs, I mean, he also did Tarzan as well.
Yeah.
But very influential work and very influential writer and artist. And it's still up to this day. There's just tons of artwork, and everyone's inspired by the world, because he almost, in a way, created his own little scientific language with the aliens. The world. I mean, he really went all out for this character. So there is a love, there is a following for John Carter. Now, it's been over 100 years in the making now. Like finally, someone's getting a crack at it at the bat to make a movie.
Next year is literally the 100th anniversary then when it came out, because it was 1912.
There we go.
Oh no, wait a minute, no, I'm saying 100. No, it's over 100 already.
Okay, so
it'd be 110. It would be
right. All right, so I'm going to give you my experience really quick of how I discovered it, and then you can give your experience, and then we'll get into the plot synopsis and all that fun stuff. So I literally heard nothing but horrendous, horrifying, horrible things about this movie. People were comparing this movie to The Adventures of Pluto Nash. Like they were like saying it was just as bad or worse than The Adventures of Pluto Nash. Okay. Unfortunately, this has the stigma. Now, I know some people are probably looking at the ratings. They were like, well, 52% isn't that horrible. We still think it's a little bit low, but we want to talk about it because it still has the stank and the stigma on it of being, one of the biggest, maybe the biggest box office failure. I know,
and it's a Disney production. I mean, I don't know, a lot of people don't realize it. This was a Disney movie.
Yeah,
this wasn't like New Line or like just some small studio making their own little thing. This was a Disney production. Yeah,
and I saw the trailers and I was just like, I wasn't really that interested. I was like, oh, it looks okay. And then I just heard it just tanked. It was terrible. There's not going to be any sequels. Not going to be a franchise, and it's just always looked on like. Not look back on fondly, and I just didn't really give a shit or care. And I was just like, ugh, I didn't want to watch it. And then a buddy of mine says, no, check it out. I was like, John Carter, seriously? This is considered like the worst movie ever. This is considered like fucking Troll 2 of the, this is like Manos, the Hands of Fate. Okay. I'm like, he's like, no, just watch it. So I was like, all right. So he let me borrow the Blu-ray. And I watched the Blu-ray, still expecting Pluto Nash, still expecting Wing Commander. All right, my expectations was that low.
I thought Wing Commander was an underrated movie too.
Oh no! Another episode. But you get my drift though, right? So I was just like, and I watched it, and I was just like, as soon as I got done watching it, I was confused. I was sitting there confused, like I was just kind of like, did I watch the same movie the entire world watched? Like, I'm really lost. And I have a theory on why it didn't do well. And then you jump on give me your theories too later after we're going to talking about it.
It's probably going to be pretty much the same thing. And it's what a lot of people have said too. We'll get into it. I'm not going to.
Right. Unless you want to do it now. What do you think the theory?
Your show, bro. Whatever you want to do.
I think, okay, we'll do the quick theories and we'll talk about it. I think my theory is, I could be wrong, but I heard a lot of things, and I think my theory is we've seen this before. This is nothing new. It's very generic. It's very forgettable. It's one of those, okay, this in a way inspired Star Wars, but since we've seen Star Wars now, we're used to Star Wars. We kind of seen this already. We've seen the princess getting saved. We've seen the aliens. We kind of seen the adventure. So now this movie's really bringing nothing new to the table. So why bother? That's kind of, that's why I wanted to invite you on the show to talk about it.
Yeah.
Because I want to know your theory. Like, what do you, is that part of it? What do you think happened?
There's multiple things. Okay. First of all, Disney completely dropped the ball in the marketing. Okay. They did not market this thing at all what it was. I mean, the movie's just called John Carter.
Right.
Okay. The book, it's called The Princess from Mars. They could have said John Carter of Mars. Even when you look at the posters, it's just him standing there with like a background. You see some alien in the background, but you have no idea what this movie is about. And the trailers didn't really even tell. It just showed a lot of action. The trailers, which was what drew me in actually. And when I looked at it, I love pulpy fantasy stuff and mixed with sci-fi. I'm like, I want to watch this, even if they're bad. I don't care. I'm going to watch it.
Yeah.
You know I mean, I'm that kind of guy. And but the trailers didn't do it justice. Marketing was horrendous. The name was bad. All that other good stuff. The other thing was from looking at it and from the trailers, what people were thinking. This came out in 2012, right? 2012, yeah. 4 years earlier was another bad movie that came out 2008 called 10,000 BC. Oh, okay. And visually, it looks the same. If you don't know anything, if you don't know anything about these movies, anything about the book, anything about anything, if you just look at the trailers, you look and you're like, okay, this is another silly thing, And when you put Disney in front of it too, that might turn off some adults as well. I mean, nowadays it's different. Now with Disney having Marvel and all this stuff, adults are all running everything. But when you go back to that time period, 2012,
right?
It was mostly still you went to Disney movies for kids, or it was a fun PG movie, but it's like most of it's like whatever, what I mean?
Right.
So no one knew, and it's an old book, 1912. No one remembers this stuff. If you need to get general audiences, you need to pull them in and show them what it is. Lord of the Rings did that. No one knew who Lord of the Rings was. People all said Lord of the Rings was going to fail. Okay, because it's like no one knows this stuff. It's an obscure fantasy novel. No one knows this stuff. It's written 100 years ago.
Yeah.
But their marketing and the way they portrayed it and the music drew people in. Obviously, they had a lot of good names on the cast as well, Ian McKellen and stuff like that.
Right.
But John Carter, if you look at, like we talked about, there was a lot of names in this.
Yeah.
There was a lot of names in this, and it just they dropped the ball completely on every angle you could think of, and why it failed. People had no idea what this movie was about.
Right. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. And even Asian movie enthusiast, I put his comment on the board. He said the trailer was bad. It didn't help. It did not help things, like you were saying, And it's unfortunate. It's definitely it's unfortunate. So, but let's go ahead and get into it. So, I'll have you briefly talk about the plot synopsis here because that IMDb plot synopsis was garbage. That was terrible. But go ahead and just do the brief plot synopsis.
Another thing that drew me into is because, as you know, I like steampunk. I made a steampunk lightsaber. I make steampunk other stuff too. I like steampunk. So this was, it wasn't Europe. It was the United States. It was post-Civil War United States. But it's still that Victorian kind of era. You know what I mean? Late 1800s, pre-industry. And so that drew me in, just the fact that he was a soldier during the Civil War, and it was Victorian, and then he goes to this other world. You know what I mean? And then he's powers, and then he's jumping around and fight. So that right there, was a big deal for me, and it drew me in. So So it starts out with this guy who's, Victorian age, and he somehow finds a way, searching for treasure, finds a way to transport himself to Mars. And he has that very kind of Ronin-esque feel, I guess you can say, to it. He's done his battles. He doesn't want to follow anyone anymore. No. He doesn't want to fight for people anymore. He'll fight for himself if he has to, but that's it. He doesn't want to deal with that. And it's because he lost his family. He lost his wife and his child. But then when he goes there, he finds, I guess, a new lease on life, a new reason to live. And he goes through the struggles, obviously. At first, he's resistant. He doesn't want to deal with it. He just wants to get home. He just wants to get home and find his gold. He wants to find his gold, get off this planet, find his gold.
Yeah.
But he obviously falls in love, and we have the bad guys, the antagonists who are trying to take over the planet, and these other people in the background, and he gets all pulled into it. And because of his powers that he has, discovered by these other aliens which are on the planet, kind of, I akin them to like the Gungans on Naboo, to where you have the Nemoans, I forgot what they call them, Neboans, Padme's people, which were the above ground people, and then you had the Gungans under the water. Well, the Thrax were like the aliens that looked different from humans, and they were, kind of tribal. And he befriends them. They bring him in and want him to fight, and it was just, there was a lot of good strings here and a lot of arcs, I thought, that were played out very, very, very well, especially character arcs. When you think about the Thrak, Jidak, the leader of the Thrax. Now the princess's family, her father and the king, and Perfora's character, who I love him too. It was fun to see him playing a good guy, by the way. Because he's always a bad guy. It was fun to see him play good guy. I think they were underdeveloped and they didn't seem to do much for it. But the character development was really good, especially with John Carter's character. And I like how they bookended it with it opens up with what's going on and it closes out with it with his nephew.
Yeah.
And his nephew's Edgar Rice Burroughs.
I know. That was really,
yeah. And at the end, he's like, write a book.
That was great. Yeah.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I was very surprised with the movie, but yeah, that was perfect. You pretty much nailed the plot synopsis there, unlike IMDb.
Yeah.
Whatever the fuck. What was that? He meets a dog?
Yeah. The dog was come on, the dog was the shit though.
Oh no. Woola is my shit. That's my homie right here. Woola's my homie. Okay? I want a Woola pop. I want a Woola Funko Pop now. This is my homie right here. You know what I'm saying?
He reminds me of my big shepherd, Karaman. He's just as derpy as him and chases you all over the place and
and willing to fight.
Yeah.
Don't even care if it's fucking 100. What they call them? War horns. I think that's what they called them. That didn't give a fuck.
Nope. He was in there fighting them.
He's like, he's like, no, homie, I ain't leaving you. We gonna fight together, son. That's what we gonna do.
Right. And for people who don't know, this dog was not just a dog. He had powers. He was like the Flash. he was just zipping and zooming all over the place. Now I know Trapjaw from the Inhumans in Marvel doesn't run fast. He teleports basically, but it's still kind of the same thing. Where Trapjaw's here, then he's there, then he's here. But the dog was.
He's like my favorite character in the movie. I can't help it. I just can't help it. I'm a sucker. But yeah, the whole Edgar Rice Burroughs as his nephew. He sends for him because he fakes his death, and then of course that gets revealed later why he fakes his death.
And even that was a twist.
Yeah. Let's see here. So he was given his journal, and then that's when he reads the whole journal, and then we have our backstory and all that good fun stuff. But yeah, the designs, I love the way the cities looked. I love the way everyone's armor looked.
And can we mention that the CGI was really good for 2012? Yeah. My criticisms of Wonder Woman 84, I almost feel this movie had better CGI than Wonder Woman 84. His jumping looked more real.
Is this movie better than Wonder Woman 84?
Yes. Yes. Now, mind you, love Gal Gadot, love Patty Jenkins, love all the actors worked their ass off on that movie. But the story was lacking.
Yeah. No, I agree. But yeah, so he comes in, he reads the journal. But right in the beginning, though, we have a nice little ship battle. And immediately, the priests of the goddess, basically Mark Strong's crew, basically they're here to keep the balance. So they're here to keep the balance. So how do you keep the balance? Well, any other beings that become just as smart as they are, we can't have that. We got to have the meatheads run shit to keep the balance because we can control the meatheads. So let's give meathead Dominique West powers.
I thought he was the worst part. I thought he was the worst part of the movie. By the way, I know Dominic West has done a lot of great things, but he was just too. He was too cheesy as a villain. He was way too cheesy.
It seems like they didn't really give him a lot to do either.
No,
he's just like, I'm bad guy.
Right. I mean, they even kind of meta it because Mark Strong's character is basically like, you're just an idiot. You're a meat bag we're choosing you to be the meat bag to do this. Manchurian candidate kind of stuff. It's just like.
Oh man. But yeah, I did enjoy the whole because when you think Disney movie, you think usually nice, fun fairies and nice, fun, fluffy things, right? But there were some dark moments in here.
Oh yeah,
I was like, what? Like he finds out. Throughout the movie, we get the flashbacks of him being with his family, him losing his family, and that was one of the big major parts of the movie where I was just like, wow, this is like, I'm surprised Disney put their stamp on there. I'm surprised Disney approved this because usually they don't get into stuff that's too dark. Like,
how about the way they treat the Tharks treat their babies?
Yeah,
like tossing them around.
Yeah,
it's a community.
They just
because they're all hatched and no one's you don't have your own babies. They're all hatched communally. And the Horde, World of Warcraft flashbacks, the Horde raises the children. You know what I mean? They bring and they have caretakers that help take care of them. So there's not a lot of like paternal love, I guess you could say. With the way they're treated. And when they're brought in and they're processed, I guess you could say, they bring them from where they're hatched and they're cleaned and all this stuff. It's like they're going like to a prison. It's like they're getting lye is thrown on them, and like it looks like they're almost washed with a broom at some point or something. I mean, it's just like, you know, and then they're tossed around in one big room all together, big nursery, just thrown in there, which was kind of harsh. But but I liked it because that does play into the leader, what's his name, Tars.
Yeah,
right. Tars, him and his daughter Sola. It plays into that story, which we can get into in a little bit.
I like him trying to communicate with Carter, and he kept calling
Virginia.
He kept calling him Virginia. He's like, "No, I'm John Carter from Virginia."
Virginia.
Oh, Virginia. Oh, okay. Need you to jump like a bitch.
Sack.
But sack. Do the jump. But yeah, they were fun together. I enjoyed them together. I think one of my favorite moments in the movie is when Carter, you know, takes control of the army. He convinces the Thark army to go fight the bad guys, but he leads them to the wrong area.
Yeah.
And then what's his name? Sark? What is it? No,
Tars.
SARS. Sorry, I'm terrible.
Tars.
I'm terrible at these names. I'm sorry, guys. When they lead him to the wrong area, he basically bitch slaps him upside the head.
Yeah, right. Bam, you dummy. Why are we here?
This is like one of my favorite parts of the movie.
And this is after he becomes Jedak because he challenges the other dude.
Yeah.
I know this is kind of backtracking, but dude, when he challenges the other dude, he's like, "I challenge you," and he comes out. You think, "Oh, here we go, battle." He just cuts his head off in 1 second. Dude jumps from the stands. Carter just whoop, done. Just over.
I actually like that part though, because it was like I'm like stronger than you, faster. You're fucking done. Yeah, because we get earlier they get captured. They get forced to fight in the arena that was used in Attack
White
of
Apes.
The Attack of the Clones.
Yeah, pretty much. It was a lot like that. Yeah.
But yeah, they fight in that. They defeat the apes, the white apes, which I thought was a fun little scene. I thought that was fun. A little bit of action here and there. But yeah, it seems like the longer he's been on Mars, because of the density in his bones, he's able to jump really high like the Hulk, basically. But he actually gained more strength too. Like, it seemed like the longer he was there, he got stronger, right?
Yeah. Oh, we'd be remiss. We didn't explain this to people if people didn't see it and they want to know. He was on Mars, but it was basically like a clone of himself because his body remained on Earth, which is actually a big linchpin for the entire movie, for the beginning and the end of the movie. It's an important piece. Basically, when he uses that amulet, it transports his consciousness to basically like another body, a clone body on Mars. Right. And while he's there, his body on Earth appears dead, but it's like in suspended animation. Right. Basically. So he's over there. So while his body's here, he's on Mars. So that plays into the whole thing too. Yeah.
Well, thanks for reminding us about that one, because that's a big thing.
Yeah.
And I forgot that. After many years of watching it later and rewatching it today, I totally forgot. I was like, oh yeah, his human body is still on Earth, but it's almost like a telegraph of himself.
Because telegrams, because they did telegrams back then.
Yeah.
And they used the telegraph stuff. Yeah. Because they were looking at the map, and it looked like the Morse code, like we do with a telegraph.
Yeah.
Boop, 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 boop. It's like telegraphed his consciousness to Mars.
But the guy that basically wanted to take over the whole time that other Thark, the evil Thark, wanted to take over. He did not like what's his name again? Sarge?
I forgot his name.
Okay. He wanted to take over. So he's the one that threw them.
Sarkosia.
Okay.
Sarkosia.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was great when they lunged at each other and Carter fucked him up, and they both land. The evil Thark that was trying to take over.
Oh, excuse me. His name is Tal Hadges.
Okay.
Tal
That's
Hadges.
why I got you here, man.
Sarkosia was the female Thark who hated Sola, the one who she basically threw down in the arena.
Right. That was great. She needed to die. She had the same fucking face expression the whole movie. The whole movie she was like.
Right.
I'm evil. Like, what are you doing?
It's like, bitch, well, you're gonna die now.
But yeah, when evil Thark who tried to take over, who threw them in the Coliseum, and they defended themselves against the white apes. You're right, though. When they both, when John Carter and him fought, it was like 2 seconds, straight out of Yojimbo, son. Like it was over. And I loved how he did the superhero landing, and he was covered in blood. I loved how he cut himself out of the white ape, and he was covered in the white ape blood.
Yeah. It reminded me of Hercules with the Hydra.
Yeah, that was cool.
He would have landed on him, and he came out all covered in all that.
Yeah, and then he like fucked that dude up, and you see his head decapitated. I was like, all right. I was like, yeah, movie, yes, give me the decapitations and the alien blood. I'm liking this.
All the blood, and I'm wondering. See, like they pick blue blood and never explain it, but I wonder if it's because the oxygen levels are lower on Mars. You know, there could be a scientific reason for them all having blue, because everyone had blue blood, even the red men. You know, the people from Helios and the Zargoza. That's
yeah, you're right.
Zodangan. Their blood was blue too. So I'm wondering if it was like, you know, just because there's lower oxygen levels.
It is blue. Yeah, their blood was blue too. I forgot about that. But yeah, nice little badass scene here with the princess showing that she can defend herself.
Dude, I love her.
I enjoyed that.
And I don't think I've ever. I mean, has she been in stuff too? Because I don't think I remember seeing her anywhere else.
Dude, X-Men Origins, Wolverine, and this. That's it.
That's Taylor Kitsch.
No, she
was in a world.
She's the love interest that dies.
What? Oh yeah, she was the silver fox.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, that's who she was supposed to be. The Weapon X project was supposed to be Silver Fox.
She was the one that gave she's the one that gave Hugh Jackman his name.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I remember who she was.
She's great in this, dude. She's great in this. I enjoyed her in this.
And that sorry, toxic masculinity, guys. But that dress at the end of when she was supposed to get married, that dress was spectacular. I love that dress. I love the way it looked.
And there's nothing wrong with that. That's why they made the dress that way. But yeah, she was cool. She wasn't like just this whiny, help me all the time,
right?
You know, type of character. It was nice to see that she could throw down if needed, which was nice.
They did that right at the introduction when she first met John Carter.
Yeah,
he's like stand, like you did it kind of like stand back, I got this.
Yeah,
kind of deal.
yeah.
And then she takes care of business. He looks at us like, oh, okay, you don't need my help.
Right.
No, I don't.
Oh, so what you're saying is Force Awakens copied?
No. I mean, did they attempt to do it? If they did it badly.
They did it.
So, she was way more convincing as a badass female warrior than Rey was. Sorry, but yeah.
Oh, don't be sorry. It's all good. But yeah, you know, they kind of end up together. Our boy Dominique West was trying to basically, his whole deal is, look, I'm going to slaughter your people if you don't marry me, right?
Right.
So the father's like, well, fuck it, there's nothing else we could do. I'm gonna have to marry my daughter to him. I'm gonna have to pimp her out, you know. But she tries to escape. She tries to run away from this, and that's when she meets it with John Carter, and then we have our adventure.
Right.
But yeah, things get revealed later, like you were saying, how she discovers, what was it, the 9 ring? What was it, the 9?
The 9th ray.
Right.
Everything with them is about light, because even the airships travel on light. They don't travel on wind. They travel on light because they have all those solar arrays, and so they say they travel on light. And the Therns were all about that the people can't discover the 9th ray,
right,
or anything like that. And it was actually pretty fatalistic the way the Therns look at it. They're like, you know what? All these planets, all these civilizations, they're all doomed.
Yeah,
they're all doomed. I get, if you want to say mankind, humanity, because they seem like versions of Homo sapiens. You know, what I mean, civilizations rise, they go to war, they destroy each other. And we start all over again. Our job is just to keep it going as long as it can.
Yeah,
you know,
pretty much. What was your favorite part of the movie? My favorite part of the movie was when he basically fought the war horns here.
Yes,
it was like him versus 100 dudes.
Yes, this was like the Game of Thrones episode with the when he was fighting Ramsay Bolton. When they all just piled up on him and everything, but him and Wola were just like whooping some ass.
Yeah. I wish it was a little bit longer, but it was badass, man. He just destroyed. It was like him versus 100 dudes. It was fucking great. Fucking great. Did they have Blue Blood too? They did too, didn't they?
That was going so fast I didn't notice.
Right.
But I'm assuming they did.
But yeah, that's my favorite part of the movie, and as well as Woolah. You gotta love some Woolah here. Let's see here. I did like that one scene where Carter gets kidnapped, and James Purfoy comes in there.
Yeah,
he does the whole. He's all, I'm here to see how things are going on in here. Hey, take me hostage. Hey, take my hostage. Take my hostage. He like grabs his own sword and puts it up to his neck. Hey,
yes. Help me. And then when the queen comes in, he's like, bow.
Yeah. Bow. More James. I agree with you. They didn't give
he is so spectacular. I mean, the first time I ever saw him was in Rome.
Oh, okay.
The series Rome, which is funny because I think the king was also Julius Caesar in Rome, I believe too. The Jadak, the princess's father.
Yeah.
Saran Hines, that's his name.
Yes.
Tardos Mors. I think he was Julius Caesar in Mars as well, or in Rome. But yeah, James Purfoy is just spectacular. Everything he was in, and he was in that TV show where he was a serial killer with Kevin Bacon.
The Following.
Yes,
yeah.
That was a spectacular show.
He was great.
He was great in that too.
I love him from Solomon Kane.
There you go.
I love that movie. It's a low budget fantasy flick, but it's kick ass. But yeah, I enjoy him in that. But yeah, just like I've noticed a trend of us talking about the movie here is that we're not bashing it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like even
it was a good movie.
Even the little nitpicky things that we're honest about. Well, the villain could have toned it down. We could have seen more of these characters. Even the nitpicky stuff we're bringing up is still not like this is fucking Troll 2 Electric Boogaloo. This is fucking Manos the Hands of Fate. This is some Pluto Nash. Like
Pluto Nash. You keep bringing up Pluto Nash. Oh, that poor movie. That poor movie.
Funny quick story. Lady Fat Blood, my wife, got taken on a date before she met me. Some guy took her on a date to that movie.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Of all the movies.
She never called him back. So maybe Pluto Nash did me a favor.
Yeah. In retrospect.
But it's just like kind of having fun here. Like not really. Would you? Obviously, this is not Empire Strikes Back. Okay, let's be honest.
Yeah,
here.
right.
We're
not saying this is the best movie ever made.
Greatest sci-fi adventures of all time. Okay,
but it's a fun movie. It's enjoyable to watch.
Yeah, there were no characters in it that made me want to kill them because they're terrible. Like solid acting from everyone. And you know what? Another thing that turned me off from the movie was Taylor Kitsch. Like when it came out.
Dude, I want to see more of him. I don't understand why this man has not been acting more. I thought he was a perfect Gambit. When I saw him, I'm like, oh my God, I need a solo Gambit movie with Taylor Kitsch. I need this movie.
I had so many issues with X-Men Origins Wolverine.
The movie is the movie, but Taylor Kitsch as Gambit was great.
I don't think he does, but he was good in this. I actually thought he was really good in Lone Survivor. He was really good in that movie. Even though Mark Wahlberg was the star, he was still good. His acting was still good. But it's like he should not have been, what's the word? Not pigeonholed, but he should not have been
typecast.
Is it typecast or
typecast?
Black something?
Blacklisted?
Yeah.
Yeah, blacklisted is when they won't hire you anymore because you had such a stinker. They don't want to hire you anymore.
That's what I thought about after John Connor bombed.
When there's so many people involved in making a movie, it's not all on his shoulders.
Right.
Right.
There we go. Andre says Taylor Kitsch was good in 21 Bridges. Did you see? I have not seen that one.
That I had. Maybe I did. I'm not sure. But I'm reading some of these the bad reviews. Now, I got to be honest with you. I never read the book. I never read Burroughs.
Neither have I.
So I don't know how far it goes from the book, whatever. But some stuff they say, it's like there's one critic said the finished entity feels like a ripoff of a film that ripped off several ripoffs of Carter's own ancient source material. And I'm like, wait, what do you? I mean, I don't even understand what that means.
What does that mean?
Is it that far from the book for you that you think it's a ripoff? Feels heavily recycled in both its storytelling techniques and its visual effects. That's called fantasy.
Yeah.
That's scum fantasy. That's why so many fantasy movies before Lord of the Rings were now there were a lot of stinkers, let's be fair. There were a lot of stinkers for fantasy movies. They never got the budgets, they never got the money for them.
Right.
But that's what critics, the moment a critic would see fantasy, they're like, no, fuck this movie. Right. They don't even want to deal with it, you know? Then they're like, oh my God, what's this Lord of the Rings? Holy cow. This is great. But even sci-fi, same thing with sci-fi. You know what I mean? I think critics were pissed that Star Wars did good when it first came out. They're like, what? Who's this Lucas guy coming out of nowhere without a studio making this sci fantasy?
Yeah, don't forget during making of the movie too, when you get the big, you know, the awards ceremony at the end where they're walking down to get their awards from Princess Leia. I heard all the British actors that were standing on the side were laughing. They were laughing during
because they didn't want to be there.
They were like, "This is so fucking dumb." Little did they know.
Yeah. And Alex Guinness never wanted to talk about it. Anytime anyone wanted to talk about it, he's like, what? I'm a classically trained actor, and you want to talk to me about this garbage? That's what you want to talk to me about? I was in the movie for 5 minutes. What do you know?
Oh man, which makes you which makes you ask the question: why did he come back for 2 and 3?
Money. Yeah, he was old. It was money. It was just money. That's all it was. It was money.
He was old.
Wanted to leave something to his kids and his grandkids. And wow, this review is ridiculous. Unless you're still looking forward to puberty, you should avoid John Carter. Jesus.
It's sci-fi fantasy.
And that review was from 2019.
Right. Wow. I'm not surprised, I guess. I'm not surprised.
Whew.
But yeah, I mean, even the action at the end, I was like, this is like a lot of fun. We got sword battles. The Tarks are showing up. They decided to fly. There goes. There's one of your character arcs right there. You know, we do not fly. And they end up flying at the end. Fuck it. More crash
pretty
landing.
Much.
More crash landing.
Glad that ended. I'll tell my daughter was watching with me today when I rewatched it. Yeah. And she was looking at it and I'm like, yeah, they're doing horrible. And she's like, no, I think they're doing pretty good. All things considering, I think they're doing pretty good because they don't fly. I'm like, all right.
Yeah, but we had some sword battles. We had some gun battles. It became a straight up swashbuckler at the end. Like it was just. It's like, have you not heard of adventure? The word adventure. You know, it exists. The word fantasy exists. Sci-fi, it exists. Like these things exist.
Yeah, the criticisms I have for it is some of the acting was a little uninspired. Like I said, Dominic West is a much better actor than he was in this movie. But I don't know if it was just the character. That's how they wrote the character. That he had to be that way. But it just seemed very kitschy and very like cookie cutter villain.
Right.
To me,
Dominique. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it seemed very cookie cutter to me with that. There was a lot of characters in it that I don't think needed to be in it. I think they tried to pack it with too many. Just there was just so much going on her on the princess's end. You have her father, you have Purfoy, you have the maids that help her, and there's just so many. There seemed like way too many characters that necessarily probably didn't need to be involved. When they're in Helium. You know what I mean?
Right.
And the whole war between Helium and Zadagos, whatever the hell they're called, seemed very contrived. I'm like, I don't even understand the point of this war. I don't get it. You know what I mean? It just
right. And it went into that a little bit more detail of why they're fighting.
Yeah. And it seemed like they were supposed to be this force against Helium,
right?
But they had a feel of pirates rather than this nation,
right?
You know what I mean? Because they were nomads. They were always on these ships. They didn't have a city,
right?
They were just these nomads on a ship.
Right.
And
it just I think it just came down to resources, right? They were just fighting over the resources of the planet.
That could be. Yeah, they were saying that. But the one thing I never understood too is she was talking about. I mean, I get they had to have some kind of water on there, but they're talking about, you're talking about this seas. You're in a fantasy land. What are you talking about? Seas. And then they go to the river, and there's the river of Is, and there's a river, water just all flowing out of nowhere. The whole place is a desert, and they get a spot, and there's just full on river just flowing. I'm like, wait, where did this come from?
Hold on a second. Wait a minute. Willow bombed?
Did it? I never looked up Willow's. I
love Willow. Willow was one of the. If you want to be realistic and honest here, Willow was probably the closest thing that we had to a Lord of the Rings type movie in the 80s.
In the 80s, yeah.
And it was actually good.
It's very similar to John Carter. There's a 51 tomato meter and a 79% audience score.
Okay.
But it had a better audience score than John Carter did, though.
Come on.
80%.
Come on. Conan the Destroyer, 25%. Get out of here. Come on. It's not. I agree. It's not as good as the first. It's still fun, though.
Right.
25%? Come on.
Well, that's the whole point of critics, though, right? Because
here you go.
They're not critiquing, is the movie fun? They're critiquing all these cinematography kind of things and writing and dialogue. They're really delving into a lot of things. Where were the stakes? There's all these little things they hit on to give it what their score is. You know what I mean? Right. So where a lot of times general audiences, we just sit back and go, that was a fun movie, because we're not paying. Our suspension of disbelief is easily suspended. You know what I mean? With some movies, and also you got to go into it knowing that, oh yeah, this movie's trash. Right. You know what I mean? Right. It's like if you go into it knowing this movie's trash as far as, you know, writing skill or stuff like that. You know what I mean? If you go into it knowing that you're going to see this kind of movie, you're like, well, it's okay to enjoy trash. Yeah. Oh God.
Will Chamberlain. But no, I totally agree with you. It's like when we review movies on our channel, we approach them as if we're of the genre is trying to represent.
Right.
That's how we review it, right? We watch a movie like Citizen Kane, we'll approach it like the genre is representing. If we're watching a B flick like Troll 2 Electric Boogaloo, we're going to that's how we approach it. But not a lot of people do that. You know, they don't do that. So it's unfortunate. I think it's like, there's nothing wrong with being honest and just having a good time. No, there's a lot of trash out there. So the trash deserves to be destroyed.
Right. And it's like, here's the thing. Like when we talk about Star Wars, right? Mm-hmm. The fans got so much lore and so much love out of this IP.
Yeah.
That when it comes out trash, like we did with a lot of the sequel stuff, you're like, no, this movie deserved better.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Lord of the Rings. Tolkien is my inspiration as a writer. He was one of my biggest inspirations for writing my novel.
Oh, nice.
And I love the movies. Okay, even though there's a lot of purists that hate the movies because they're like, it's missing Tom Bombadil, it's missing this, it's missing. It's like, man, listen, do you want these movies to be 6 hours long each? I mean, but I loved it. Okay, but then we got to The Hobbit. I'm like, this is trash. This is absolute trash. It's trash. It is trash. It is trash. The reason why it's trash is because they tried to make a book that could have maybe did 2 movies. I say one at best, a 3-hour one 3-hour movie. Okay, if you want to split it in 2-hour movies, maybe 3 movies. No, they added all this other stuff just to make another trilogy to make money on it to be off the back of Lord of the Rings, and it failed. It failed miserably, I think, as a movie and as a story. It was horrible.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just still cringing in pain from the Hobbit movies.
Dude, it was just so bad. I'm like, this is trash. And the reason why it's so trash, like, if it was just watching trash, like these other movies, like, oh, this is a fun movie. It's not a fun movie for me because Lord of the Rings was so good.
Yeah, it's like we didn't see. I think we saw Smaug in theater, but we didn't see the first one or the third one in theater.
Yeah,
and so we just kind of we didn't see the other 2. Let's just blind buy them. So we blind bought all 3.
Right.
And it was one of those. As soon as I started watching the first one, I turned to Lady Phat Blood and I was like,
I never watched the last one. I was so annoyed.
Wow. I turned to her and I'm like, this was my first thing was, I was like, this is nice. It's kind of nice being in this world again. That was my first impression. And then by the end of it, I was like, well, that happened.
That happened. Let's make 3 movies to find a way to make a dwarf and an elf hook up. There we go. That's what you want. The synopsis of the Hobbit guy, the Hobbit trilogy, guys. How to get a dwarf and elf to hook up. That's the synopsis of the Hobbit trilogy.
Oh God, yeah. It's like we bought the Lord of the Rings trilogy on 4K. We will not be buying the Hobbit trilogy on 4K. Oh man! Oh, someone said you're missing out, Lungo. You're missing out.
I don't know, man. Listen, those first two were so bad for me. Smog was the only highlight, and he was in a movie for what, 5 minutes?
Pretty much.
I was like, it's like that's it. I was done. I mean, the music was nice.
Yeah.
Legolas, sure, we got some Legolas, but Legolas isn't as fun without Gimli or without the. You know what I mean? Just Legolas alone. It's like, I don't want to see a Legolas solo movie. Why? Because he's boring alone. He's better when he's with the Fellowship. That's what makes it fun.
Plus, it was early Legolas where he was kind of a dick.
Yeah.
So I was like,
yeah, we got Gimli's dad. We got Gloin. I mean, did anyone care about Gloin other than being part of Gimli's name? Gimli, son of Gloin. Yeah. I mean, it's all know. But that's why I'm looking forward to the series, the Amazon series coming out. I'm looking to see what they can do with it because it's supposed to be in the second age.
All I got to say is good luck.
Good luck? Oh, for what? Amazon, good luck doing it?
Yeah, good luck.
We'll see.
It's going to be hard for people to detach themselves from the movies and watch a show about it. I hope it's good, though. Hopefully it's good, But now there's no excuse. So all the book sniffers out there, you're getting your show now. So, hopefully they don't fuck it up.
Get it. I'm optimistic. I'm optimistic about it.
Yeah.
I know it's a big undertaking. You don't mess with something like Lord of the Rings. And they got a lot. And if it's bad, it's gonna be even doubly worse because they're spending a lot of dough. I mean, how much money we're talking? It's a ridiculous amount. I forgot how much when they got it. It was something like, I want to say it was like 2.5 billion or something like that.
Billion.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
Okay, holy crap! So those special effects better be Game of Thrones level.
Yeah, it's like ridiculous. Let's see.
I hate saying that word, but yeah.
Price tag of a billion. Here it goes. Sources estimates on Amazon's mega Lord of the Rings 5 seasons plus potential spinoff. Insiders put the price tag for global rights alone at $250 million and believe once things like budgets, casting, visual effects are factored in, the price tag could be hit $1 billion. Okay. Yes, $1 billion for a TV show.
Holy fuck! $1 billion.
Right, it's a ton of money. It's just ridiculous.
Oh my god! What are we talking here in terms of season? Like, how many episodes are we looking at here? Or is it going to be like Game of Thrones and be like?
Well, they haven't told us. We don't have any information on that yet. They just released some casting, and they're all pretty much new actors or unknowns, which is fine. I'm good with that. I don't need big names. Are always nice. Yeah. But sometimes the big name overshadows the story, and it just never doesn't help. But some of the best stuff usually comes out with. I mean, Star Wars. Star Wars has a history of always picking actors that weren't really well known, except for a few.
The Movie Dojo Army, they know me. They're like, the TV show that should not be named. I know. I feel filthy. I feel dirty saying the something of Thrones. I feel dirty saying that title.
Listen, the books I loved, and the series was great until obviously where everybody says it fell apart. Is at least the last 2 seasons, if not the last 3 seasons. But up until the Red Wedding, up until the death of Jon Snow, it was great.
Yeah, I agree. I hate it now. So you're not going to change my mind, Lunga.
No. I mean, I wasn't happy with the ending. I was like, "What was this?"
At least I got a fan of the show that can admit that. At least.
Oh yeah. Come on, man.
There's so many defenders. They're like, "Well, I'm like, no."
No. I mean, did I watch it? Do I, like, when people get hypercritical, I'm like when they were talking about the Daenerys, like, oh, Daenerys shouldn't have turned evil. I'm like, no, that was coming. That was coming. Even if you're reading the books, you knew that was coming. You know what I mean? They hinted it throughout the whole thing, but they rushed it. The way they did it, they rushed it. And the Benioff and Weiss, what killed it for me is when they came out after it was over in an interview saying, oh, yeah, we didn't want to put that much fantasy elements in it because that's not, general audiences don't want that. It's like, it's a fantasy novel! What the hell are you talking about? It's like Star Wars. It's like someone taking over, like Disney taking over Star Wars and saying, yeah, but we don't want it in space because general audiences don't want to be in space, so it's going to be on Earth. It's
put it on Earth. Yeah. Let's take the lightsabers out, too. We don't need the lightsabers.
Right. That doesn't make sense.
Give Lady Fat Blood cameo. Lady Fat Blood cameo.
Hello.
Sorry.
But yeah, no, I get you. I totally get you. But yeah, I want to. Well, I don't have high expectations for the Lord of the Rings show, but if it's dope, I'm there. If it's dope, I'm there. I will buy it. I will support it. Hopefully. And now unlike Game of Thrones, they can't fuck it up because we all know what the ending is.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and it's a prequel. This is the second age. It's gonna be about the creation of the Rings of Power, and the only person that we're supposed to get a young Galadriel in there, and I think they're talking about a Gandalf being around because Gandalf I forgot the name. I forgot what they were called. Not Asamar. There's a name. But they're like angels.
So it's a prequel to Fellowship?
Universe. It's a prequel. It's like Silmarillion stuff. It's going way back.
Oh, I didn't know it was going back that far.
Second Age. Yeah.
Oh.
So it's going back. I want to say it maybe at least 1,000 years. 2,000. It's got to be. It's okay. Actually, if it's Second Age, it's got to be before the war with Sauron, where they had the alliance.
Okay.
The Last Alliance. It's before the Last Alliance.
So will it end with the Last Alliance? I'm
not sure. I mean, if it's popular and it keeps going, yeah, it could keep going eventually to that. But this is supposed to be again creation of the Rings of Power, which is way before the Last Alliance.
Right. Interesting. Well, hopefully it's good. They got $30 billion to make it right.
Yeah, Mike Swift says there's 5 seasons planned for the Lord of the Rings series.
Okay. Well, good. At least they already have it planned out, and they're not just, risking, taking a huge risk and be like, "Oh shit, everybody hated the show. We got to cut it now. Let's end it." So hopefully it's good.
And Sexy Emo says Agent Smith going to be in it. Actually, Hugo Weaving notoriously opts out of everything that he helps make iconic. He never. Nope, I don't have the time.
Does that mean he hates it?
No, he just doesn't want to. Like, he's not coming back for the Matrix. Now, he always cites scheduling conflicts. It's like, how many? I ain't seen you in that many movies. How many scheduling conflicts do you have? You know what I mean? But yeah, he's not going to be in the new Matrix movie.
Yeah,
which is going to kind of suck. It's like you're going to do this. You're not going to have an Agent Smith.
Mr. Anderson.
Right. So he's not in that. He's not going to be in this. There was there was another one. There was another thing too that he was a part of that he didn't want to return for or something. But yeah, he's not coming back. No Hugo Weaving.
Unless they.
Yeah. Now it is a long time ago. If I don't know the exact time frame, it could even be before Elrond was born, or he was very young. So they could technically recast it as a younger actor because Galadriel is going to be a younger actress too, playing her.
Okay. Oh, Lady Fabula just mentioned he didn't come back to do Red Skull again. There's
Red Skull. That's the one. Red Skull. Thank you.
Yeah,
that was the other one. Now scheduling conflict. Can't do it. Scheduling conflict. What movies you have coming out? Doesn't matter. Shh. Yeah. Scheduling conflict.
The movie's called Fuck You.
Yeah.
The movie's called Fuck You, Pay Me.
That's right.
Oh, man. Good stuff. All right. Was there any other positives and negatives about John Carter?
I mean, at the end of the day, for those of you that haven't watched it, I just like we've said multiple times, it's a fun movie. Don't expect a cinematic masterpiece because we're not claiming it's that, No. But it's a fun movie. It's a fun movie, and it's a fun movie you can watch even with. It has the adventure and action that an adult will like, but you can watch with kids, and the kids could watch it too. So it's a fun movie.
It's got fun decapitations just for the kids.
That's right. I mean,
it's fun.
I guess you should, as a parent, determine what age your kids should be to watch this kind of movie.
Look, it's got Disney stamped on it.
It's got Disney stamped on it. It's good. It's all ages.
Let the kids enjoy the alien blood.
What was it rated, by the way? Was it rated PG?
And decapitations are fun. Blood, alien blood for the whole family.
There you go.
Enjoy.
Rotten Tomatoes does not show the rating. What was the rating on it? Was it PG or PG-13, by the way?
I'm looking on IMDb right now. They don't show it. Hold on. PG-13.
Rotten Tomatoes didn't. PG-13.
PG-13.
Okay, so there you go.
All right. So, is it really that bad? Is it really as bad as all the critics make it out to be? We are going to say no, and that it gets a pass for tonight.
Yep.
It gets the thumbs up. It gets the pass. That's right. And all those critics out there that don't like to have fun while watching movies, well, Mr. Van Damme Guile here salutes you. Yes, we salute you.
Yeah. I mean, I would say tomato meter maybe should have fallen. What's considered fresh? 60%, right?
60.
Is it 60,
Yeah,
right?
You couldn't give it 60?
Right. I would say, yeah, between 60 and 65,
Yeah.
I think is where it should have fallen. You know what I mean?
I agree. Oh, by the way, we did a poll from the Movie Dojo Army. And the poll, even the Movie Dojo Army, these are the results right here. Boom.
There we go.
They said it should be higher than 52. There you go. Good job, Movie Dojo Army. Good job. Yes. So, one man versus an army, people, with the greatest dog, the movie dog in movie history.
Best dog ever.
The best dog ever. I want a large 10-inch Funko Pop.
I want a plush. I want a big plush.
There
like
it is.
A pillow-sized plush.
My big ass will march, my gigantic ass will march into FYE, and I will demand a plush of Woola. That's right. I admit it. I don't give a fuck.
I wonder if Disney's ever thought about a reboot.
No, not you know, since this one bombed so hard.
I mean, it was a Marvel comic.
I think this movie's the Disney right now. I think this movie is. This didn't happen.
We gotta wait. Well, we gotta wait at least 20 years. 2032. That'll be 20 years.
Do you think if Pixar did this movie and made it completely CGI with better marketing, would it have done better?
No, the moment you say Pixar, I think extremely kiddie. Not that Pixar movies are bad. I enjoy Pixar movies. I love the Toy Stories. I love all the Pixar stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Soul was great. Soul was Pixar, right? Yeah. Soul was great. But they still have a very, very kiddie bent to this. To where this one is being PG-13, it still gives you a little bit of edge for adults. If it becomes a Pixar, it's going to be rated G. It's going to be garbage. I don't want to see it.
Yeah, you're probably right. There you go. Make a beanbag out of the dog.
Exactly.
Best beanbag ever. That's it. You're gonna make something woola.
Dog Soldier says you have a better chance of rebooting Punisher than you do Carter. Punisher's already been rebooted. It was a Netflix series. And that was great too. I thought they did a great job with that Punisher series too.
I heard rumors that they're going to bring John Bernthal into the MCU. Is that just still a rumor?
That there's a rumor that Charlie Cox is coming back to the MCU. There's all of them. I would love to see it. I think Feige. Everyone always picks on me, like Yellow always picks on me because he's like, anytime we bring up Marvel, you always got to bring up DC. But this is the thing: Feige is competitive as fuck. Okay, he is competitive, and it's not about hate. It doesn't mean he hates DC. He hates them. But he has that fun competitiveness, and he wants to one-up them because that's the game, right?
Right.
The moment DC came out with Fandom and talked about multiverse, this and that, suddenly Feige went back to the whiteboard. Wait, hold on. We need to jump on this. All of a sudden, we get Spider-Man, multiverse. We're going to have all this Spider-Verse, all these things coming in. We got all this craziness going on with the multiverse, all these bringing back. When they talk about Mike, because DC was talking about Michael Keaton come back as Batman, right?
Yeah.
We're going to bring Michael Keaton back. We're going to bring. They're like, oh, you know what? We're going to bring back Melina Doc Ock. We're going to bring back, all these other characters. Blah 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 blah. We're going to bring back Tobey Maguire. We just brought back Evan Peters from the Fox universe. That's Quicksilver. You know what I mean? So now he's like going completely overboard. So it would not surprise me.
Yeah.
If Feige says, you know what, the fans want Charlie Cox. The fans want Bernthal. Bring him back. Let's bring him back.
I hope so. Daredevil was fucking dope.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
That especially that one scene that everyone loves and remembers. That one shot hallway scene.
Yep.
Was ridiculous. The first season.
That was the first season.
Ridiculous.
The staircase fight was good too. And he had the chain wrapped around it. It was good shit. Good shit, man. My only problem with the series was too much of him not in a costume. It's like I went through the whole first season not to see the costume until the very end. Right. And I'm like, all right. Well, season 2, we're going to see the costume. All right. Then I got the costume in season 2, right?
Right. Then we get to the end and we get to season 3. No more costume again. Or we do have the costume, but it's Deadshot wearing the costume. Bullseye. Wait, Deadshot? What was his name?
Bullseye.
Deadshot is DC. Yeah. But yeah, Bullseye was wearing a costume. I'm like, oh, come on. I want Charlie Cox in a costume.
I know. What about this question?
Yep. He definitely did. He definitely did. He knows what he's doing, dude. He's like, okay, we're going to take your idea and do it better.
Didn't Ben Affleck say something about like Kevin Feige is a genius?
He did. And guys, listen, I'm telling you right now, this is sad for me. I'm a DC stan. Okay, I'm a DC guy. I like Marvel. I like watching movies. They're fun. And
it's okay to like both.
Right, but I'm a DC guy. That's my jam is DC Comics. Okay, Flash, Green Lantern. That's the stuff I love, man.
You got the shirt. You're wearing the shirt right now.
I got the Funko Pops too.
There you go.
I got Funko Pops down there. You know, I got a Flash ring. Come on, bro. Come on, bro.
Yeah. Oh,
okay.
Nice.
I'm a DC stan, but I can acknowledge Feige just does it better. He knows what he's doing with it. So take the L. Whatever you want to do. Take the L on it.
Hey, well, at least you can admit it.
Yeah.
Unlike other people are like, no.
I mean, there's high points. The first Wonder Woman movie was great. Aquaman was really good. I enjoyed Shazam.
Yeah.
You know, I like seeing it.
I was surprised with Shazam.
I'm looking forward to the Snyder Cut. I know people still hate on it and stuff like that, but I'm looking forward to it, you know, because I didn't think it was horrible. I'm the kind of person that has an open mind that I'm okay with elsewhere tales. You know what I mean?
Right.
Whereas people they want their classic main universe. They don't want this elsewhere stuff. They don't want this. I like Frank Miller's Dark Knight Returns. So seeing those elements in there made it kind of fun. You know what I mean? For me.
Right.
I think Ben Affleck was the best Batman. I think I really do. I think he was the best Batman. Yeah. He was the best Batman. I mean, if you take out the Martha, why did you say that name? Why did you say Martha? Take that out. Take that part out.
I will always defend BVS Ben Affleck. Mm-hmm. I will always defend that Ben Affleck. Josh Whedon, Justice League Ben Affleck. Well, he kind of fucked it up and tried to turn him into Tony Stark.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
and we'll see. I mean, we'll see. I know there's a lot of haters. Obviously, I get it. I understand, and you're perfectly, in your rights not to like it. I get it.
Yeah.
But let's take a look. Let's see. Let's see if it's. Let's not assume it's going to be the same movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I know there's a lot of drama going on around Zach and all the stuff that's going on with him and Ye Fisher and all this other stuff. I know there's a lot of drama going on there with that, but let's watch it. Let's see. Maybe it is a completely different movie. Now, at the end of it, you still may hate it. Okay. But I think it's going to be different than what we saw.
Yeah. Yeah. I hope so. I mean, in a way, it's already better than the Josh Whedon version. It's already better because we have Junkie XL, the original composer, coming back, because that Danny Elfman soundtrack was garbage.
Yeah,
that was the most boring.
Which is a shame because it's Elfman. You would think it's supposed to be like good, but I don't know.
I feel that soundtrack felt like they gave Danny Elfman 1 week.
Well, because that's pretty much what they did. They brought Josh in. All right, we're changing this whole movie. Oh, you thought you were just doing reshoots? Oh no, you're making a whole new movie. In 6 weeks or something like that? They said, like
best
just a short amount of time.
Out of all the Batman movies, best fight scene.
Yes, it was Arkham Asylum to a T. The way they did that fight scene, and it was the best Batman fight scene I had ever seen anywhere. Yep,
I agree. And I'm nostalgic for Keaton. I still have that nostalgia. I've seen that movie in theater when I was young, and I was completely blown away. There's a poster. I have the poster in my bathroom over here.
Right, and you know that one.
Michael Keaton statue back here. You know, like
nowadays,
Batman.
Nowadays, a lot of people, like my buddy Lewis, Lewis Lecca from Nerd Report, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that hate on those Michael Keaton movies. They're like, oh, it's campy. It was this. It's like, hold on. If you look at it from today's standards, it looks campy.
Right.
But when that movie came out in the 90s, Batman's wearing a black costume.
Yeah.
Who did we have before that? We had Adam West. Okay. All right. He's in a black costume. Yeah. He's holding people over the roof of a building.
Yeah.
He's intimidating. He's trying to scare people. You know what I mean? That was...
if you want to get technical, he kind of killed people in both movies.
Yeah. He had missiles. He had missiles in that Batmobile. Listen, I want fans, Batman fans, get over this. Batman doesn't kill. You know how many times this man is killed? And I'm not even talking about just the movies. You know how many times he's done collateral? He doesn't kill if you don't count collateral damage. Okay, that's when he doesn't kill. Meaning he doesn't take a gun, aim it at someone, and murder them.
Right.
That's what he doesn't do.
Right.
But if people die in the process, it's
if you're in his way, or he's trying to rescue someone, or he's trying to save the day, and you're in the way, hey, anything can happen.
Right. And like in that the BVS scene with when dude had the tank on his back, the flamethrower, right?
Yeah.
There was a no-win situation.
Yeah.
We're all gonna die. You know what I mean? Or I gotta stop him, and this is the way I gotta stop him.
Yeah. But it's like everyone forgot that in Batman Returns, he set someone on fire with the Batmobile. He engulfed him in fire. Yeah. And he put dynamite on one of the guys, punched him, and knocked him in a hole, and he blew up. He murdered that guy because he was in his way. He was in his way, though.
Just in his way, but it's collateral damage. You understand? It's not murder. It's collateral. Damage.
Somebody asked, "What's your pick for the worst Batman?"
Worst Batman? Oh, George Clooney, without a doubt. George Clooney, without a doubt. You could technically say Adam West if you want to go by the campiness thing, but the show was a product of its times.
Yeah. So you can't.
Right. So you can't.
Yeah.
George Clooney was not a product of his times. George Clooney was doing Adam West Batman in the freaking 2000s. Okay, well, what are we doing here?
That's my George Clooney impression.
Dude, the moment he pulled out the Bat card, are you serious? That was right out of Adam West. You pull out a Batman credit card? What are you doing, bro? What bank is this?
Never leave
Batman credit card.
Never leave the cave without it.
Dude, come on, that was so corny. It's like I was waiting for the shark spray. I was waiting for the shark repellent spray. That's what I was waiting for.
And then it would have been the greatest movie ever.
That would have been the greatest movie because that would have just been lulz. We'd just been laughing at the rubber shark hanging from his leg, hitting it. You could tell it's fake.
Yeah.
Beating
Lady Fatblood's awakening to more of a sense of humor when she watched the old Batman movie with Adam West. You say hi.
Yeah.
Don't be shy. It's Lunga. Lunga's cool.
Yeah.
She's gonna come say hi real quick.
It's okay.
Yeah. Lunga's cool.
No, that hi.
Hello.
How
are you?
I literally had an awakening to a new level of sense of humor the first time I saw Adam West being lifted out of the ocean from the Bat helicopter to the sight of a rubber shark being attached to his leg, all the water being drained from the asshole of the rubber shark. Close up to Adam West struggling as a stagehand off screen jerks around the shark, and he's smacking the nose of the shark. I think I laughed so hard internally that I couldn't laugh externally for a solid 10 seconds, and then it all just poured out.
Came out.
But yeah, that was a new level. My sense of humor evolved that day.
Yeah. Because like I said, that's one of those shows that's a product of its times.
Yeah.
So you can look at it and go, "Oh, this shit's hilarious."
Yeah. And don't forget, after he sprayed it with the Bat shark repellent, the shark fell down in the water and blew up.
That is essential gear in a helicopter.
Yes.
Right. You got it's just that's essential gear in a helicopter. No parachutes. None of the shark repellent. That is what we need.
That whole movie is just yes.
I died with the scene where Batman was trying to get rid of a bomb. I died hysterically. I was laughing.
As a kid, I watched it because of Julie Newmar. Okay, let's be honest. Okay, I watched the show because of Julie Newmar.
Julie Newmar will make anyone feel funny.
Yes. And we can't forget about Eartha Kitt because she was spectacular.
My problem with Julie Newmar is like, damn, woman, you got to look like that and you got to be funny as hell. That's not fair. That's not fair to the rest of us. It's like, shit, woman. She's probably like I back and forth between her and Michelle Pfeiffer for my favorite Catwoman. like Michelle Pfeiffer was like my favorite Catwoman.
Yeah,
she was like my first. Like she was.
It was her,
Catwoman.
and it wasn't even just like the looks or how she looked in the but her demeanor. She just exuded. Michelle Pfeiffer exuded that Catwoman feel.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
I loved her crazy, and then I loved her suit. I loved the stitched together like the suit, but I loved how crazy she was. And then I saw Julie Newmar, and it was just like, damn woman. But there was something about Eartha Kitt. And what really cracked me up is watching the third season of Batman was watching Eartha Kitt play off of Cesar Romero's Joker because they had so much screen time together.
It was pretty funny.
And those two together were absolutely adorable.
Yeah.
And they were so hysterical together. It was like, oh my God, could I have a series with those two, please?
Can we so I can't get rid of a bomb. Yeah. Can we mention the pull that Cesar Romero had where it's like, nah, I'm not shaving my mustache. You're painting this shit over mustache.
And can we
shave my mustache?
Can we thank Funko and all of the subsequent figures that have come out for acknowledging that?
Yes.
That they have all the mustaches with the paint over them. Like, yeah, it's like absolutely.
There was an episode that she posted a highlight of it, and I couldn't stop laughing. It was at the end of the episode, and they were like, "Good job, Batman, for stopping the Joker and all that." And then Batman goes into a speech. We must all come together and work hard, and all.
The hands got to be on the hips too.
Yes, yeah. Wow. This whole speech, and he was going on for so long that Joker came out of nowhere and ran up and said, "Will you please take me to jail? Take me to jail right now."
I want to go. I don't want to listen to this anymore. Please,
that's
can we leave?
Funny.
Can we leave?
I was dying laughing. I was like, "Oh my God!" Oh, it's good shit.
It's
and
good
that's why we got the
funny.
Blu-ray box.
Yes. Yes.
Somebody asked earlier, did you like Return of the Joker, Batman Beyond movie?
I actually haven't watched that one. I watched some of I watched Batman Beyond a little bit when it first came out, but I didn't watch all. I know the Joker was really crazy looking too. That
it's
movie,
good.
But
it's pretty good.
I haven't seen. That one I actually haven't seen.
Just make sure you see the uncut version because they re-released it and they edited and took out what they considered violent. So you want to make sure you get the uncut one. All right, best Joker. Your pick for best Joker.
Wow, I
They're
love
all
that.
good.
They're all good. Except Jared Leto. Sorry, Jared Leto. That to pull a Ewan McGregor, that doesn't count. That doesn't count. I don't know what was going on with Leto with that. He was just messed up. But I love Nicholson. I know people still nowadays retrospectively people kind of like hate on it because they're like, oh, he's just like a gangster. He was Jack Nicholson's Jack Nicholson and everything he does. Okay, let's be fair.
Yeah.
But it's Heath Ledger still he floored me with that performance.
Yeah.
Even after Joaquin Phoenix's Joker, which I thought was very good, Heath Ledger still floored me with his performance.
It was almost like we didn't see him anymore.
No.
We did not see Heath Ledger, the actor, anymore. You know what I mean? Because I remember when he was announced, she was like, "Oh God!"
Right, the guy from A Knight's Tale, the guy from 10 Things I Hate About You. What are you talking?
The heart
That's the same thing people said about Michael Keaton. What, Mr. Mom?
Yeah, yeah. And then when we saw him in the movie theater, we were like, "Who is that?"
Yeah,
that is not Heath Ledger. Who is that?
That's why I tell people give Pattinson a chance. He's a damn good actor. Don't hate him just because of Twilight. Okay, he didn't write the movies. He took a job.
Yeah.
Okay, he took a job, and you can hate those movies all you want, but it's not like. But since then, the man's done amazing work.
Lighthouse, Good Time. Did you see Good Time?
No, Good Time I haven't seen.
Yeah, it's pretty good. But yeah, hopefully, fingers crossed for the new Batman. I want it to be good. Trailer looked good.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. What are your thoughts? Are you you okay?
Yep,
I'm.
Okay, I thought you tripped there.
Sorry, you gotta.
No. Thank you for stopping by.
Bye.
Bye. I'm optimistic about it. There's a lot of criticism. People have a lot of criticism about the suit. A lot of people don't like the cowl. It looks like he's got a big head. Suit, right? The forehead looks a little big. It looks a little bulbous. I don't know what's going on with the forehead there. It looks a little bulbous. The ears, people are upset about the ears because they're short. But it's like Adam West had the short ears. I mean, in the comic books, there's a lot of comic books he's had the short ears. He hasn't always had the long ones. So that doesn't bother me too much. People go nuts about the symbol, the emblem being guns, like it's supposed to be his parent, the gun that killed that Joe used to kill his parents.
Right.
I think that's pretty cool, actually. I think that's a neat little implement. Yeah. The suit itself looks fine. Yeah. A little bulbous in the top for the helmet. But again, we're seeing this without the movie. Let's see it in the movie and see how we feel when we watch it. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But from what I've seen from him in those trailers and the teasers and stuff, it looks like he's going to knock me out of the park. You know what I mean?
Ground and pound. I lost it with the ground and pound.
Oh, dude, I have that. I have that as a clip on my OBS. I play that thing all the time. Right.
Pound. Yeah. And
they're just looking at him like, oh shit.
And if that guy died and he didn't make it,
right. That's right. Oh, broken bones never killed anybody unless they puncture a lung. You know.
Oh,
those ribs can be sharp when they go into a lung, there, buddy. Just so you know.
But yeah, I mean that's what I really liked about. I love Keaton, but that's what I really loved about the BVS version of Batman. You know, was that you would when you see that Batman, you're running away.
Yeah,
you're like, no, I'm not fucking with that. No. Because my kneecap's gonna get taken care of.
and listen, people do not appreciate this, but Ben Affleck, even the Batman is the Batman, which is great. Okay, a lot of that stunt work. It's not Ben Affleck doing all that. That was great the way they did it.
Yeah.
He, to me, when I looked at him, epitomized what if you're going to take Bruce Wayne out of the paper and put him in real life. Yeah, that's what he looks like. The way his body shape, he was kind of bulky. Right. You know what I mean? More than the other actors were.
Yeah, he could still move.
He could still move.
Yeah.
The jawline he had and the hair, everything just worked. The demeanor he had too as Bruce Wayne, because they always want to say, oh well, Bruce Wayne plays this act. You know, he always plays this act that he's a playboy, which he does in public. Which is, you know, Christian Bale did that great when he's at the restaurant, you know, and he was all with the girls and then swimming in the fountain and stuff.
Yeah.
I get that, but the moment he's out of that scenario and he's Bruce Wayne, he switches and he's Batman out of costume.
Right.
And in that movie, that's what Bruce Wayne was. Okay? That's what he was. Now, when you get to the scene with the when they're at the Lex Luthor's charity thing, he was acting more the playboy there.
Yeah.
He was being snarky.
Yeah.
But he was being like, I don't know. I own this or I own that or do I own that paper? You know, just he had a little bit of that swagger of the playboy kind of.
But he didn't overdo it. He didn't overdo it.
Right. He didn't overdo it. But then once he was out of that situation, you saw the face go stern, and he was that serious Bruce Wayne that is actually because Bruce Wayne, Batman isn't the alter ego. Bruce Wayne is the alter ego. He is Batman. Bruce Wayne is the fake side.
Right.
Whereas that's the dichotomy with Superman. Clark Kent is who he really is.
Right.
Superman is just his alter ego to help people because he feels he has a responsibility.
So what's the news I'm hearing about Superman right now with Cavill? What's going on? Is he what is happening right now?
Who knows, man?
Like what is happening?
Who the hell knows? Andy broke something, you know, saying that that some people were saying he's coming back and he signed on or supposed to be on Shazam 2, right? And then the director of Shazam 2 came at Andy and said, "No, that's not true. That's not happening," or this or that or well.
Yeah.
Who knows? Cavill wants to do it. You know he wants to. I think he's kind of annoyed that he can't get to finish what he started. He wants to do it, and that's why he went off and did The Witcher. He's like, man, screw this. I got to do this. I got to work. You know what I mean? So
good choice for him,
right? And that show's spectacular too.
Yeah.
But if it doesn't happen, it's not going to be because of Cavill. Let's put it that way. Right. You know what I mean? And if it is because of Cavill, it's going to be because they come too late and he already has commitments. If he already has commitments and contracts, he can't get out of them. Well, what do you you can't do anything about that.
Do you think if everyone really, really loves the Snyder Cut a lot and it gets a lot of good positive buzz, you think that'll be like, all right, Henry, come back?
That'll definitely help. But here's the thing: we don't know what's going on in there, man. There's this internal strife going on where you have the old Warner Brothers people who were there established don't want anything to do with this anymore. And then you have the AT&T people who wanted to go forward. You know what I mean? And that's where the rub is happening. You know what I mean? I think the execs, the studio execs, the actual people who work for Warner Brothers Studio before AT&T, They want to move on from the Snyderverse and just start over, start fresh. But they're also kind of lying to themselves because you're still working with Wonder Woman.
Yeah,
and you're still working with Aquaman. You know, it's like, listen, they're moneymakers. I get it. All right, and I'm not saying get rid of them. I like them. They're moneymakers. Keep them.
Right.
But be consistent. Then, if you're going to keep them, you can't just like freeze out Cavill. Right. You know what I mean? You can't just freeze out Cavill. If you don't have anything to do with that, then you know what? Reboot, start all over again for the bajillionth time. Okay. But if you're going to keep going on with Wonder Woman, and you got this Flash movie in production, the Flashpoint's happening, you got to bring Cavill. You got to have Cavill. You got to bring him back. It doesn't make any sense without it. Now I'm hoping that this Flashpoint is one of my favorite storylines in DC Comics. I think
I really like the animated movie.
Yeah, the animated movie was good too. I think they're going to do a whole. It's going to be a soft reboot because what happens is Barry, like always, that's a nice timeline. Then how can I fuck it up? So he's going to go fuck it up, and then he's gonna have to come back, and it's injustice or whatever craziness. Then he's gonna have to go back again and fix it, and then when he comes back, it's fixed, but things are a little bit different.
Right.
I mean, they're not exactly like it was. So that's going to give them room to do a soft reboot. Where they can keep certain things or not keep certain things, I mean that's gonna help fix the Batman situation. Because if Affleck doesn't, he's gonna be in this Flashpoint movie, him and Keaton.
Right.
Most likely, what's gonna happen now? I don't know if they want to, because I think they're still talking about trying to keep it separate, because they talk about this whole multiverse deal where the Reeves Batman is supposed to be like separate universe, different multiverse, not part of this. Right. So. I don't know if they're going to bring him in after this Flashpoint thing and say, now he's the Batman of this universe, or if they're going to bring in a different Batman. They could do that too, and just keep the Reeves Batman as a standalone Black Label, like the Joker movie kind of deal. You know what I mean? Right. And people worry about this. They're like, general audiences aren't going to get it. General audiences are dumb. Okay? Shut up, people. General audiences are dumb. They want to sit their butt in a seat and buy their popcorn and have fun watching the movie. They're not critics questioning, wait a minute, I thought this guy was Batman. Why is this guy Batman now? Why? No, they don't care. You know who care? The sweaty nerds like us. Stop saying the damn general audiences care, because they don't. They're not going to get confused. They're too dumb to get confused. They just want to watch a fun movie. That's all. And I'm saying dumb tongue in cheek. Obviously, I'm not. I don't want to disparage anyone out there that's a general audience. But you get what I'm saying. It's purpose, like John Carter, right? General audience. I was general audience to watch this. Dumb. I didn't care. I just wanted to watch the movie, and it was fun to watch. That's all. Yeah, there we go. Casey Affleck, right?
Oh God, it just kind of sucks. It's one of those things where if it's not broke, don't fix it. You got a guy who actually wants to play the role. He's good at the role. People want to see him.
Looks the part. I mean, he's great.
Yeah, and there's fans though. There's fans for Cavill. It's not like nobody likes him.
He's a good actor. I mean, come on. He's a good actor, and I really think now you can have your criticisms of that's not my Superman. He was too dark. He was too.
That's fine.
Valid. I get it. Yeah, but that's not Cavill's fault. Cavill's following the script. He was following the script. And as we saw, where it was kind of getting that way, is that you see the softer side of him when he's with Lois. You see that he's going to become that Christopher Reeve Superman that everyone loves. That's where he's gonna become that. Zach started backwards. He started out with him being disenfranchised, depressed, unsure of himself, and he grows into that role. Which, sorry, I understand comic book purists. You want him to be this good guy from birth until forever. The reality is, it usually takes people some soul searching to get to that point. They don't just,
We can relate to heroes like that way more, actually, when we see them struggling.
Right.
But hopefully, fingers crossed for Cavill. Hopefully he's still around, and who knows what the fuck they're doing.
Who knows?
And somebody mentioned in the chat earlier that Captain America is coming back now. So what's going on with that?
Yeah, they're talking about what's his face? Oh my God, why does his name escape me? The actor,
Chris Evans.
Chris Evans. Yeah, they're talking about Chris Evans coming back, signing a contract to supposedly play Captain America, but we don't know what it's going to be.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Multiverse.
Yeah, it could be multiverse. It could be Hydra Cap, which I think would be pretty cool. a pretty cool storyline.
Like
you know what I mean?
Cap?
People. It was the series, the Secret Empire. That's what it's called.
Okay.
The Secret Empire series with Cap was Hydra. A lot of people didn't like it because that was part of the all new Marvel deal, and people felt it was SJW and it was this, it was that, and people hated on it. But I didn't read the whole thing. I read parts of it, but then I watched. Forgot some YouTuber. I forgot the name of the YouTuber now, where they gave a complete breakdown of the whole series, and it actually sounds like really well written, really good series. And so to see, a Hydra Cap would be pretty cool. So they might bring him back as a Hydra Cap. Maybe he might play. I mean, to me, it's silly to bring him back as Old Man Cap. It's like anyone can wear the prosthetics. Does it have to be him? I mean, but he could be Old Man Cap. It could be a storyline set after. Like, well, remember, he took the Infinity Stones, right? And he's supposed to bring them back, right? But he detoured before he did it because timey-wimey stuff, right? He can detour, but it actually has no effect. It's going to set the timeline right no matter what. Right. So there could be stories with him with the Infinity Stones before he puts them back. He's got to put them all back individually, right? There could be stories about that. There could be stories of him when he does go back. What happens there? You know what I mean? So there's a multitude of things they can do with him. Who knows? They could use him if we saw Evan Peters as Quicksilver, they could use him as a cameo to play Johnny Storm.
That would be hilarious. Oh my god, that'd be hilarious.
Right.
Oh my goodness. Well, speaking of, yesterday we were talking about the Falcon and the Soldier show. We were talking about the show coming out, and the trailer looks good.
Yep.
But here's my question though. Do you kind of get the vibe that the show is going to be them kind of fighting over the role of Cap?
Not fighting. It's a buddy cop kind of show.
Okay.
But it's that buddy cop, that Odd Couple kind of buddy cop.
Right. Which is fine
because that's what made him funny in movies. Like when they're in that backseat, of that car, like, or when they're in the car and they were playing like little kids, like who's Cap's favorites?
Yeah.
I'm his best friend. No, I'm his best friend. It's like, and they're going to continue that. You could see that from the trailers. They're going to continue that. Yeah. I mean, they have him in a therapy session in the trailer. Like, okay, so why don't you like each other? You know what I mean?
They're doing a staring game that don't blink.
Yeah, right. Like, are you guys? Okay. She's like, seriously, are you guys having a staring contest?
Right. But why isn't Falcon Captain America in this? Why isn't he Captain America?
Well, from what I'm looking at, from what I've seen, most likely what's going to be is the government, the U.S. government, most likely maybe Thunderbolt Ross is probably in part of it. They want a Captain America, just like they did in the 40s. They want a Captain America. They can control their Captain America, someone to take up his mantle to do this. And they pick the guy who is probably most likely a U.S. agent. That's the character that he's going to become.
Okay.
He's going to be the one you see that when you see him at that football game when he's coming out, it's him. He's the one in the Captain America costume.
Okay.
So it's supposed to be them, but the government said, nah, F you. We're going with this dude. We don't want either of you to do it. And then there's going to think what the Baron Zemo is going to come up to, where he wants to kill all superheroes or get rid of them. So I don't know how they're going to go. I don't know how they're going to go with it, or who's going. I still believe it's going to Falcon. It's going to end up being the one that's Captain America. It's going to be Falcon. But I think there might be some issue. Maybe they're probably going to play in the beginning, like, no, I should be Captain America. No, yeah, I should be Captain America at the very beginning, and at the end, it's going to be Bucky saying, "You deserve to be Captain America."
That makes sense. I'm down for that.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's good. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, Michael Gonzalez says Zemo is a very underrated villain. He is, and so far in his trailers, he looks spectacular. He looks like he's going to be really good.
Yeah, I'm waiting.
Reprising.
I'm excited.
Zemo in this.
Thoughts on the Loki trailer?
That's the one show I'm not that excited about. Everyone you think people are like, oh, Loki, I'm not that excited about it. It's like, I've seen this. You know what I mean? I've seen this. It feels like I'm watching Legends of Tomorrow, because that's basically what they're doing. Legends of Tomorrow go around fixing the timeline, right? In the CW shows, the DC shows.
Yeah.
Well, now they're forcing him to the Time Variance Authority. They're having him going around to fix timeline because you stole the Tesseract, so you messed up time. So now you need to fix all the variants of yourself, causing problems, and you need to go do this. And it's like, why? And the only reason they made this is because all the people who stand and drool over Tom Hiddleston. They wanted him back. My daughter loves Tom Hiddleston.
Yeah.
My kids, by the way, are all older guys. My daughter's 22. She's the youngest. So all my kids are older. But she loves Tom Hiddleston. She loved Loki. She loved him in the movies. When she heard about the series, she's like, "No, he's dead. Leave him dead. I don't need him back."
Yeah.
I don't need him back. He died well. I like the way he died. It ended well. This is just for people who drool over him on Tumblr and they want him back.
He said Tumblr.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's fun. As long as it's fun, I'll watch.
I mean, I'm going to watch it. Don't get me wrong. I'm going to watch anything the MCU throws at me. Just like Star Wars. I'm a sucker like that. I'm going to watch it. Yeah. And then I'll see if I enjoy it. WandaVision, I'm thoroughly enjoying. I think this is a great show.
Dude.
So,
man, and that really, really, really good so far. Really interesting, man.
Mm-hmm.
I hope it goes darker. We'll see what happens.
Looks like it already is, man. We're already going down that hole. You know, that look when she went out there and I don't care what anyone says, that was literally a Magneto move. They literally tried to mirror Magneto moves because she did two things. First, she did the guns, which is what Ian McKellen's Magneto did, right? And then when she does that turnaround thing and she goes like this, that was Fassbender's Magneto.
Oh shit!
In the reboots, he did that with his stuff too.
Okay.
So they took,
shit.
Yeah,
dude. But she said you guys get one warning.
She came out there, all them guns straight on her. She didn't care. She wasn't worried. She wasn't nothing.
No.
But she was badass.
Straight gangsta.
Yeah, and Paul Bettany's acting is spectacular. I'm thoroughly enjoying watching him. Okay, he's
great.
Hilarious, first of all. Okay, hilarious, first of all.
Yeah.
He's pure. I mean, in this first like 4 episodes, he's pure Paul Bettany. Yeah. He's not Vision. He's just Paul Bettany. Yeah. And it was hilarious. You know, it's like I'm watching A Knight's Tale again. It's the second time that's been referenced so far in this show.
I know, right?
But
did you hear about his Vision story?
Which one?
So he was literally sitting on a curb, literally getting ready to give up acting.
Really?
He was literally ready to give up acting. And then he got a call while he was sitting on that curb to play Vision.
Well, was it to play Vision? Because he also voiced Jarvis. He was the voice of Jarvis.
No, it's to play Vision because he was getting ready. Okay. He was really,
so he probably just had a small contract to do voice acting as Vision or as Jarvis, and then they're like, "Oh, we're going to give you an actual role."
Yeah,
to be Vision. Mm-hmm. Okay, because he's the only actor who has actually been in Marvel movies across 3 decades.
Holy crap!
He was Jarvis and Vision, so he's been in Marvel movies from the 2000s to 2010s and the 2020s.
Yeah, but there's an interview with him that you could find where he was thinking about hanging it up, and then they're like, "Hey, do you want to be Vision?" And he was like, "Sure." And now look what happened.
Yeah,
look at that. Isn't that crazy?
And we'll see if they bring him back. I think they're going to bring him back. I honestly feel. So? Yeah, this is my theory too. I think they're good. I think he's going to come out and they're going to play off the comic books what they did with the White Vision, where he's going to come out of this reality and he's going to be alive, but he's just going to be the synthezoid.
That'll be dope.
He's not going to have, and then they're going to follow it up. I think Shuri completed that download.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
She has it, and then they're going to go through this whole storyline where she ends up bringing him back, and then they're going to bring back Ultron too. I don't care what anyone says. Ultron is going to come back, guys. Ultron is that kind of villain that never dies because he's AI. He's uploaded, downloaded. He's everywhere. It's like Brainiac. You know, he's always somewhere.
Another fun story about Bettany. He had a big crush on Jennifer Connelly when he watched Labyrinth when he was young.
Really?
And now look what happened. They're married. That is crazy. Lucky man. Twice.
Oh.
Jennifer Connelly, and now he's playing Vision.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's great. I'm a fan of his, so.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I love the guy.
Sexy Sumo. He's mentioning Phenomena. Have you seen Phenomena?
No.
Oh my God, dude. That movie, it's an Italian horror fantasy movie with Jennifer Connelly before she did Labyrinth. And it's insane. It's nuts. Like she's almost like a mutant in that. She has like powers.
Really?
Yeah. But it's like you have that aspect mixed with it being a slasher movie, mixed with a killer monkey. Yeah.
A killer monkey.
Yes.
It makes every movie better. throw a killer monkey in it. Makes every movie better.
Phenomena. Yeah.
Doesn't matter what you name it.
Huh?
Doesn't matter what you name it. Just throw in a killer monkey.
That's it.
And the movie's instantly
Gold.
better. Coming in Phase 5 of Marvel, guys. Killer monkey. It's coming. It's coming.
Confirmed. Confirmed here.
Yes, sir.
See, chat, they know. Killer monkey with a razor blade. See, now you got to watch the movie now.
Now I'm going to have to watch it.
Now you got to watch the movie now. So. Very bizarre, but entertaining. Bizarrely entertaining. Yeah, if you're a Dario Argento fan, very, very bizarre movie, but kind of fun actually. So what are you looking for?
That's my people's. I'm first generation American. I'm 100% Italian. Both my parents were born in Sicily.
Nice.
So yeah.
So nobody nobody fuck with Lunga. You're gonna get hit. He's gonna put out the hit.
Oh, shh. We don't talk about that here. We don't talk about that here.
Sorry.
What you trying to say? To say?
Sorry.
I was laughing because some of my friends were joking around about that too. They're like, "Oh yeah, Lunga, he's a mobster." And I go, "Man, you think if I was a mobster, you think I'd be all over YouTube?" and they're like, "Yeah." I'm like, "What do you think this is, casino?" Where it's like, I told you to take the other job, like be head of like the cooking or something. You go on TV. What are you doing?
It's just your cover, man. Come on.
People need to know. They need to hear.
What's going on, Connecticut Comics? That's right. You got me cracking up tonight, man. I'm over here crying.
Good stuff.
What do you got going on this week on your channel? Just to kind of let chat know.
Well, I mean, tomorrow's Mondays I'm off. That's why I did this today, because we're usually off on Mondays. So on Tuesday, starting tomorrow, we'll have the midday mashup like we have every Tuesday through Friday. That's at 3 Eastern time. Midday mashup, me and Yellow. And tomorrow night also at 8 Eastern is our Dungeons and Dragons Console 6 campaign.
There you go.
Where we do that every Tuesday night at 8 Eastern on my channel. I'm also gearing up to release issue 2 of my comic book, Isadora and Immortal Chains. I'm going to be putting that up almost like an Indiegogo.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Months. Issue 1 succeeded. It's good. It's available right now in the Backer Kit store on demand if people want to buy it. But yeah, so I'm writing that one right now. Last night I was painting and sanding pieces of the Mando armor, watching a 3D print, make sure it was going okay, watching YouTube videos, and writing the script for Isadora #2 all at the same time. ADHD is a bitch, man. That's all I can say.
You're a busy man.
Yeah.
So I know, but the third issue that's coming out, you're going to throw in a killer monkey, right?
Killer monkey, man, that's coming. You can't spoil it yet. Can't spoil it yet.
Sorry.
It'll be a teaser at the end of issue 2.
Well, cool, man. Anything else going on for the week? The chat should show up and hang out, or
yeah, that's it. Like I said, join us if you guys want to join us if you're available during the middle of the day, 3 p.m. Eastern time. We're doing our midday mashup. Hop on in, watch us, have some fun with us while me and Yellow are bullshitting about pop culture and movies and Star Wars. Definitely if you're a fan of tabletop role playing kind of games. I'm the DM of that game with a good cast of people playing this stuff, and it's a fun story based off of my novel, Souls of Magic's Dawn. I built the campaign around that. It's a homebrew. So
that's pretty cool, man.
Join us for that.
Awesome.
And yeah,
I'm going to check out that comic.
Thank you.
All right, we can go ahead and end it a little bit early today. This is kind of what I'm doing now. My new format: instead of 2 movies an episode, we'll just do 1 movie an episode.
Yeah.
And that way, it gives us time to shoot the shit and do some other things. Sometimes my streams go a little bit too long, so I'm trying to cut it down a little bit. Plus, it gives me a little bit more to work with because there's tons of movies out there that do not deserve the hate, and some of them do.
Yeah,
you guys seen me rant on shit that I'm like, no, Ballistic is really that bad. Fuck Ballistic.
Yeah, some of them can be bad.
Yeah,
definitely.
But hold on one second here. Oh, I just got your private chat here. But yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a link.
This was a lot of fun, my brother. Now that I know you're free on Mondays, I can steal you now.
Yep.
Whenever for future episodes and whatnot, and maybe we'll bring you on some versus episodes, man. Those are fun, dude.
I've done Nerd Wars on Andy's channel, so I have no problem with that.
I know you kicked my ass. I haven't returned, man. I got my ass kicked live in front of the world.
Yeah, I still haven't defended my wins. I gotta do that one day.
I'm just kidding. Who's the champ right now in Nerd Wars, by the way?
I have no idea. He hasn't done it in a little while, I don't think.
Oh, okay.
Actually, to be honest with you.
The
last one I was on, it was me and Joshua Gray.
He's still champ then, probably.
Well, the champ is based on points.
Okay.
He won the last one we did, which I still say I was robbed. Okay, because every Nerd War is usually like 3 rounds, 2 rounds, or something like that. You do right?
Yeah.
Why me and Joshua had to have 6 rounds? And I won most of them except the last one, which is the one people remember, and that's the one that when I'm like, God damn, I was robbed of that. Robbed.
You were robbed, man.
Robbed.
Hold on. Gorekeeper, hey Samurai, I found the best 50 best 1980s horror list. We definitely have to do.
Oh.
Well, we gonna have to do that because I'm going to decide. God damn it, I'm gonna decide if this list is some bullshit. Because the 80s, that's my shit.
If you're doing anything with horror,
yeah,
especially 80s,
yes.
talk to Lewis. Lewis is a horror fanatic. He loves horror movies.
Oh shit, okay.
Especially 80s stuff. Yeah, talk to Lewis.
Yeah.
Lewis would love that shit.
All right, cool. You have to show me how to get a hold of him after
we're
done with the stream here. But yeah, today was a lot of fun. It was a blast. It was an honor, my friend.
Same, man. Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
On the channel. Chat, Movie Dojo Army, you know what to do. Make sure you go over to the Great Council, show support, subscribe. A lot of good content over there. A lot of good. You can tell he has the knowledge. He's got the comic book knowledge. He's got the sci-fi fantasy knowledge. So if I need questions, I'm gonna be calling him up. I'm like, yo, man, what the fuck was this movie? The fuck? You know, I'm gonna be calling him up. But this was a lot of fun. John Carter survived tonight, guys.
Yes.
It survived. We gave it a pass. It's definitely a fun little sci-fi adventure. We recommend you guys check out. Just have a lot of fun with that. And until next time, we see you badasses again. Oh, tomorrow, Is It Really That Bad episode will be Legend. Yes, I'm going to have Asian movie enthusiasts, the Sexy Sumo, and Rob from Entertainment Talk Nation. We're going to go over that. Legend, 1985, son. That's right. So see you guys tomorrow, 6 p.m. Pacific time. Actually, 5 p.m. Pacific time, just for tomorrow. And then we'll go from there. All right, guys, take care. Lunga, don't go anywhere. We see you guys next time.